boys and girls. So you've been working on your novel projects and now you're getting into the final stages. So for all the groups, you're going to be writing a one-page paper, 3 paragraphs about your novel compared to the movie that you watched. So there are 3 different novels. The purple group was reading Tuck Everlasting, the blue group was reading Holes, and the green group was reading The Witches. So just consider for your Venn diagram all the differences that happen just in the book, just in the movie, and then what happened in both. I'm going to be putting up a clip of the Venn diagram and an example of what I did.
So for all of the groups, I want everyone to see what it looks like when it's completely finished. So for the book title, I have Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, movie, if different, but it's not different for me, so I just put same. I have a Venn diagram here. When we're adding to our Venn diagram, you're going to put this as, it's currently an image. So when you double click on it in the drawing, you go in and that's where you add in your information. I chose 3 colors, you don't have to. And then as we move down, you'll see the paragraphs that I wrote. So I made sure to introduce my book in the very first sentence so that you know that the first paragraph is just about the book. I'm talking about Harry Potter, that there are some differences between the characters, how they look, besides how they're portrayed. And if you look here at the end of this first paragraph, I quote the author and the page number that I found it on. I'm talking about how in the book they talk about Quidditch a lot, but in the movie it's not seen at all. So that's a big difference between the book and the movie. And as you can see up here, I have Quidditch as a book-only item. In my second paragraph, I'm discussing the movie, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and how it was different. Here, the citation's a little different. So I have Cuarón, who's the author's last name again, or the director's last name, just like the author's last name up here. Alfonso Cuarón, and then what time it happened. So this is not 39 o'clock, this is 39 minutes and 0 seconds. Later on, I have another citation that happens at 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 28 seconds into it. So if you were to go to the movie and skip to that exact moment, you would see the werewolf being called by Hermione, which doesn't happen in the book. So this whole paragraph here is only about the book, only about the movie. It did not happen in the book. Little adjustments. In the movie, they start focusing on Neville becoming a more important person than just a regular secondary person. However, in the book, he's still relatively overlooked. In my third and final paragraph, I have information that the book and the movie have a lot of things in common. I discuss Sirius Black, who's a main character. He's seen as the bad guy in the entire movie and the entire book. And there's no talk of Voldemort at all. So here I cite the director for the movie as well as the author for the book because I'm using instances on both of them to say how it's similar. I discuss different aspects of the book that are very close. I don't want to spoil too much of it, so I wrote it kind of vague so that anyone who wanted to read or watch can still do so without having too much information spoiled. For my references, this is a big thing. I have alphabetical order by the last name of the author or the director. So the first person that I have to cite is Alfonso Cuarón. So Cuarón, Alfonso, director. The title, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, is on italics. Then I have the company that put the movie out, Warner Brothers, and the year the movie came out. But then for the book, I have that it was J.K. Rowling, and I used the illustrated version, illustrated by Jim Kay, also titled Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, where it was published, New York, the company it was published, Scholastic, and the year that it came out, 2017. Now again, I used the illustrated version, which came out much later than the original version. And I want everyone to look right here. I want you to include citations for direct quotes and paraphrasing where appropriate. Some of you will be using direct quotes and it's a requirement. some of you will be paraphrasing, and that's a requirement, and some of you will be doing both.
When you've completed your paper, you also need to include for your cover page an image of what the setting looks like. So everyone is going to create the setting for their novel, or their favorite scene from their novel, and they're going to put it on the front page. So you can create your favorite scene from the book using Legos, pipe cleaners, anything from the STEAM kits. So I also want everyone to be thinking about what their favorite scene is. Some of you might pick a scene that has your favorite character doing something really cool. Some of you may pick a scene that's a little scary, like in The Witches. So it's really up to you. So Purple Group, for when you're citing, you're going to be going and finding the actual page number. So if I'm talking about how Winnie was interested in drinking the fountain, but she was being told not to by Jessie, then you're going to look up which page that happened on, page 29, and you're going to look for the author's last name, as we know is Natalie Babbitt. So you would put in parentheses Babbitt, 29. If you were then comparing it to the movie, you would put the timestamp of when it actually happened. So when you're looking at this, it says, "Believe me, Winnie Foster," said Jessie, "it would be terrible for you if you drank any of this water. Just terrible. I can't let you." And you wanted to actually cite this paragraph right here, you would have to use the exact words. If you're doing a direct quote, you tell me which page it was on and the author's name. If you were just going to paraphrase it and say Jessie didn't want Winnie to drink the water, then you would also still need to put the citation for the name and the date, the name and the page, but you would not need to use the quotation marks or use the exact wording. Hi, hello Purple Group. So you've been reading Tuck Everlasting, which is a fantastic book. So in Tuck Everlasting, you might have noticed some differences early on. For instance, in the book, Winnie is a lot younger than in the movie. So maybe you might want to include why the author made Winnie so young, why the director made Winnie so much older. Maybe they wanted a different actress. Maybe they needed somebody who could be on set a little bit longer. We've talked about how children in movies have a limited times that they can be in their roles. So we want to be considering the choices that the author made versus the choices that the director made. That could be a really nice aspect that you could put into your writing. Paragraph 1 is going to be about just the book, things that were only in the book that didn't show up in the movies. Paragraph 2, you're going to go the other way, things that were in the movies but weren't in the original book. So maybe it was a director's choice, something that would be more appealing, something that was more visually interesting. And then in the final paragraph, things that came together in both, like the major plot points. So you might also want to be considering the direction that the director took, as well as how they still told the same story in the end, even though there was a divergence between the two. You're going to recommend either the book or the movie as being something that you prefer. You could say that you liked both, of course, if you do like both, but you should be able to choose which one you enjoyed more and then give your defense. As you are 6th graders, you will be working on including citations that have direct quotes, as well as using paraphrasing, where you're saying what the author said in your own words.
So Purple Group, you are working with your book, which is Tuck Everlasting. So obviously you're going to type in your name, the date, the book title, and the movie. They're the same. Here you're going to put in through the drawing tool, like I showed you before, about only in the book, only in the movie, and then right in the middle about what happens in both. For your paragraphs, I want you to be thinking really creatively. Each paragraph is going to need a topic sentence. You need 3 things that are specific to that category. So for paragraph 1, you're doing 3 specific items that happen in the book, but not the movie. And then your concluding sentence, which should bring you to the next paragraph. Paragraph 2, topic sentence, 3 things that happen in the movie, but not in the book. And in paragraph 3, 3 things that happen in both the movie and the book. with your last sentence, instead of having a traditional concluding sentence, you're going to give a recommendation and tell me which one you preferred and why. So if you're saying that you liked the book because it was more detailed, you can include that. If you're going to say if you liked the movie because you liked the visual representation, something along those lines. And again, include citations for direct quotes and paraphrasing where appropriate. You guys are required to have direct quotes and paraphrasing with citations embedded into your writing.
Hello, Blue Group. You were working on the book Holes. So in the book Holes, we have Stanley Yelnats, and he's described in ways that are very different from how he appears on screen. So major differences that you can already start to notice for your Venn diagram would be that Stanley is portrayed as a chubby boy in the books, and when he's in the movie, we notice that the actor who's portraying him, Shia LaBeouf, is much thinner. So maybe start to think about why the author described him as being chubby in the book versus why the director chose a skinnier actor for it. Another thing that we're going to be looking at is how the story progresses. In the paragraph, you're going to be writing about how what's in the book compared to what's in the movie. So the book has a lot of things that are specifically chosen that might not be able to be described in the movie. So include those things. And then the movie in your paragraph 2 is going to have some things that are very different from what the book describes. So why might the author have chosen what's in the book versus why the director chose what's in the movie? And then in your final paragraph, you're going to compare the things that happen in both, things that drag the storyline through. So consider things like Zero being the great-great-great-grandson of Madame Zeroni, how that mattered, how Elia's story was introduced and how that changed. In the book, we have different chapters to show the different time periods. In the movie, it's kind of like flashbacks or cutscenes, so consider that. And then in your third paragraph at the very end, you're going to put your opinion about which part you liked best from each scene. In the last part of your third paragraph, you're going to put your opinion as to which was better, the book or the movie. You have to use support. So make sure when you're supporting, you are paraphrasing and you are citing where you got that information from. So if you wanted to cite about Stanley being chubby in the book, you would identify where it is on the book, put the page number, and then where we first see Stanley in the movie and show that he is a much thinner actor.
Hello, Blue Group. You will be working on your book, which is Holes. So for the title, you're going to put Holes. The movie is the same title. Sometimes it is different. That's why there's the requirement there. For your Venn diagram, you're going to put in your information using the draw tool, as I showed you in the other video, for things that are only in the book, things that happen only in the movie, and things that are in both. Here I have sentence starters for you for each paragraph. Paragraph 1, the book, so we're only talking about the book, this first portion of the Venn diagram. The book Holes was different from the movie for several reasons. They were. And then, as you can see by my ellipses here, I'm requiring you to list them. I would like 3 items and your concluding sentence. Paragraph 2, the movie was not the same as the book for many reasons. So now you're talking about what happens over here on the right side, the movie only. So one reason is that, ellipses again, so you're going to want to give me hopefully 3 items that happened. And then paragraph 3, the book and movie have a lot in common. They both ... So you're going to tell me what happens in both of them. Here in your asterisk, it says remember to end paragraph 3 with your opinion of the book versus the movie. So which one you liked better. And then include citations for paraphrasing while appropriate. You don't need a direct quote. If you do find one that you like, you may of course include it.
Hi, Green Group. So you were reading The Witches. So in The Witches, we notice that we have a little boy who becomes a mouse because of a spell from the witches. Now, in the movie, the same thing happens, but there's a little bit of differences. So I want you to be noticing what's special in the book and write that in paragraph 1. I've outlined what paragraph 1 looks like on the document that you're about to see. Then paragraph 2 is talking about how differences in the movies, things that only happen in the movies, not in the book at all. So things that were creative decisions by the director. Then you are talking about paragraph 3, which is what was in both of them, what matched between the two stories. So really be considering only the book for paragraph 1, only the book for paragraph 2, and then where they both happen in paragraph 3. Your last sentence should be saying if you liked or did not like the book or the movie better. So make sure that you are using evidence when you can. If there's anything that you want to directly quote, try to tell me what page number it's on or where it happens in the movie.
Okay, green group. So as you can see, the first thing you need to put is your name, the date, the title for your book, which is The Witches, and the movie, which is also The Witches. On this side, on the left, you're going to put items that happen only in the book, and on the right, things that happen only in the movie. In the center, things that happen for both the book and the movie. If you scroll down, you see that I have given you the structure of the paragraphs with blanks. So I read the book blank, The Witches. The book had some things that the movie did not have. One thing the book had was blank. The book also had blank. My favorite part from the book was blank. I wish the movie included blank from the book. So you're going to be thinking about what items happened that stood out to you in the book that were special from just the book. And you're also going to include what you wish the movie had kept in. Maybe the movie skipped something that you really liked from the book. The second paragraph, the movie's title was The Witches. One thing the movie had that the book didn't have was blank. So you could talk about the same thing that you the opposite of what you wish that the movie had, because now you're talking about the movie had something special on its own that the book didn't have. You're going to have 2 points like that, and you're also going to give me a sentence that says what you liked about the movie that was added that the book did not have. So something special that the director thought would be interesting. In the third paragraph, the book and movie have a lot in common. Now you're telling me one thing here that they had in common, one thing here that they had in common, and what you think the movie did a good job with that came from the book. So what was something from the book that you thought, oh, how are they going to do this? And then you turned out to like what they did. And then in your very last sentence, you're telling me which one you liked better. So I liked or did not like the movie more than or as much as the book. So if you liked the movie the same as the book, I liked the movie as much as the book. If you did not like the movie as much as the book, I did not like the movie as much as the book. If you liked the movie more, I liked the movie more than the book. If you did not like the movie more, I did not like the movie more than the book. So that sentence can be done 4 different ways. It is your opinion, and you are to use examples from the book and the movie. If you can include a citation, that'd be fantastic. That's a little bit advanced, so if you are prepared for it, please go ahead and do so.